So when I was young, um, growing up, there was this guy called Monishi. He was a musician, and I remember he was famous at that time. And when my mom will punish us to be at home on time, and he would just play songs. So this guy used to have an accordion, and that would play. So at that time, it caught my attention. Like, how does that thing produce sound? Yet it looks like a spring,
Yeah.
and it just moves in shapes.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Moments with Gabby. I am your host Gabrielle Mosa. On today's episode, we're going to be talking to John Baraza, who is a crafts artist. He'll tell us more about his crafts and how he got into it. Stay tuned for more. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification to be notified on new episodes. John, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
I heard it's your birthday today. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you turning?
24.
25.
25.
Okay. So tell us how you got into your crafts projects.
So I started crafting. It just came as an idea. So when I was young, I used to do sketching and drawing. But at that time, like in our class, many people could draw, and I wanted to do something unique.
Okay.
So I decided, why can't I try and just create something with my own hands instead of just drawing? So that's how it started.
So it's been something you've been doing since you're a child.
When I was a child, it was something I was interested in until like about when I was in standard 8.
Oh, okay.
So that's when I started practicing it. Yeah.
And is this what you pursued in university, or you studied something else?
No, it's not what I pursued in university. So actually, when I started in standard 8, that time I wasn't sailing, so I was just trying to practice and to improve. So I remember I first created my first creation. I used a newspaper, and I used it to decorate my mom's house. Yeah. So after that, when I was about to join high school, I was a little bit better, and that's when I made my first sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of piece was it?
It was just a centerpiece. Yeah, sort of a centerpiece.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you study in university?
Unfortunately, I didn't go to university.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when now did you start pursuing it officially?
After I finished, no, I started when I was in Form 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started taking it, but that time it was part-time. So we would go on a break during midterms. I would do it just to get some money to do my own stuff and some shopping for myself. So that's when I started. But when I finished high school, that's when I took it fully. Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of pieces do you make, or what kind of material do you make these pieces from? Let's start from there.
So at the moment, I'm using ring papers, but I use them in a way. I join it glue together with some paints and some materials like cartons to make them a bit stronger. But I'm thinking of going bigger and maybe using something more like a plastic. That's something that can be more stronger.
Something more
and durable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what pieces exactly do you make?
If you've come across origami, so it's sort of origami, but not really origami, because I don't use manila papers. I don't use manila papers, and my creations, they can change. They are flexible, so like a piece contains many different patterns, which someone can change in a day, depending on how they want.
So it's like a whole thought process. It's like different things.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my question: where do you get your inspiration from?
Actually, it's a bit funny. So when I was young, growing up, there was this guy called Monishi. He was a musician, and I remember he was famous at that time. And when my mom will punish us to be at home on time, and he would just play songs. So this guy used to have an accordion, and that would play. So at that time, it caught my attention. Like, how does that thing produce sound, yet it looks like a spring,
Yeah.
it just moves in shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So also there is a day we went to museum and we kind of misbehaved. So we were given a punishment. So everybody was given a paper, and there were these guys that they were doing a project called Nainihu. So they were telling like each kid, when you hear Nairobi, what comes in your mind? What comes in your mind first? So for me, I remember that time I drew KICC. Yeah, KICC piece. And after that, that's when I started like thinking, how did this guy came up with this great design or something like that. So in my creation, I'm greatly inspired by some things that I've seen, and yeah.
I like that. So you use the environment and everything you can get as inspiration.
Yeah.
Tell us your thought process. You've decided maybe you want to create, I don't know what, an origami of something. Tell us the process from beginning until the end.
So at the beginning, I start by cutting the designs themselves. Then the second step, I get to join the design.
Okay.
There's a technique that I just use. Then after joining, I get to separate the places that I should paint. Then later I do the painting. Then I just do the finishing and the product is done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Approximately how long does it take you to do all of this?
Let's say like maybe a piece can take me like almost 2 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 hours, yeah.
Okay. Is there usually a high demand for these pieces?
Yeah, it has been good, and there's been demand, and so people like art in general, and I think business was better before COVID, so I would make huge sales during that time before COVID came. But at the moment, I'm just trying like to just push. People still want it, but it's a bit. They try to complain like it's a bit expensive and whatever. Yeah.
Why did COVID slow down your?
So when COVID came, that was the time my business was trying to pick up.
Okay.
And I remember like that time is when I had most clients, and many people knew about my art. And I remember that time is when I go to some shows and whatever. So people used to know about my craft at that time, and they would buy like on a daily basis. So when COVID came, I wasn't, my business wasn't affected. It didn't face that impact directly,
Immediately.
but it took time.
Okay.
Yeah, it took time. So when that time came, you can feel like clients were complaining, like we have basic needs and we need to focus on something like mask and whatever to keep ourselves safety. So at the moment we don't need these products because it's an extra thing that we just need to do. So at the moment we don't need them. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Guys, we're going to take a short break, and in the upcoming segment he'll tell us more about the challenges he's faced. Thank you guys for staying tuned. I hope you have liked, I hope you have commented, I hope you have shared, and I hope you're also enjoying the show. In the previous segment, we talked about how he got into his craft journey, and in the upcoming segment, we're going to talk about advice for upcoming craftsmen, and he'll talk also more about his favorite piece and what inspired it. Stay tuned. Tell us about your favorite piece.
So my favorite piece still remains the KICC one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the beauty, the weight, the building is carved and round. Yeah, so that's my favorite piece.
What inspired it, KCC?
So so I come from Kawangware, and mostly we will board matatu from Kenko.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I'll go wait for matatu there. Obviously, I just have to see the building.
Okay.
Maybe when I'm going in, CBD or coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take to do that piece of work?
I think it took me months because first I thought of making it, but then I didn't knew how.
Yeah.
So I had to have inspiration like from other people who do art and just share idea with them. So I'll go and ask someone, maybe, can you help me with this? How can someone build something like this possible?
Yeah.
Because I have friends who also do art. So yeah, so it took me months, but I can't say the exact time because at the first time I was a bit lazy. Yeah.
And how much does this piece retail for?
So it retails for 550 shillings.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's usually the pricing of your art?
So from 550 to 1,500.
Okay.
Because there are people who want details in their own creation and they just want customization. Yeah.
How did you come about this price? Is it because of the materials or?
So first I saw material and also my time. I tend to charge like the time and the work I put in the craft.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us a bit how you've incorporated technology and innovation into your art.
So I think just currently, I think last year, I just joined NFT. I opened an account, so I will post like these photos and try like to see if people are interested in the art itself.
Okay, and have you been able to make good sales?
So I just made, I think once. Yeah, I think once.
But it's something that you are interested in continuing to do?
Yeah, I'll continue doing it because, as I said, before COVID, I had more potential because at that time I used to have like people from USA.
Yeah.
I would say people in USA and UK because at that time I joined this group called HC. So they sell handmade products from artists from around the world. So like it's a huge marketplace. So you can have someone buy your products from anywhere. And at that time I had people from USA and from just different countries, even within Africa. Yeah.
That brings me to my question. Do you think that Kenyans really support local talent? Because you said you sold previously to many people outside of the country.
I would say yes. I would say yes. The challenge comes when to get the right audience.
Okay.
The right audience, that's when the challenge comes in. So like I joined this art gallery. It's for like Tujenge Arts Group. It's for Kenyans. So you can find like artists who do canvas and just sketching from designing and whatever. So they used to have these opportunities to young people to display their crafts. So at that time it gave me exposure, and that through that I realized that there are people who appreciate, not most of them, but there are people.
Yeah, there are people out there who appreciate it.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you've faced outside of gaining an audience?
So the challenges, I would say, financing. So like to me, I came in this business when I was young. So I started in from that I was about maybe 15, 16. That's when I started. So I didn't have this someone that I was looking up to motivate me. So I was just doing my own thing at that time. So I've learned through it. The challenges has been financing and just putting myself out there professionally. But thank God at least I registered my business last year, so it's registered.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's one of the achievements that I've done.
Is there someone who you look up to in terms of art? Like you say, I want one day my art to sell as much as his, or to be known as much as him or her?
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, I just want to do better, like on daily basis. I want to do better than yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does your art contribute towards society? It's a tough question.
Yeah, that's a tough question. So for me, like what I can say, when I display my crafts, so like I will go to crowds and just ask for their audience, like to give me 2 minutes or 5, then I will display to them. So you might find like people are a bit bored or something, so they start being amazed and they start interacting.
So it brings togetherness. You can say that.
Yeah, I can say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
As we wind up, what do you have the advice for upcoming craftsmen?
So what I would just tell them, like if you have an idea of maybe doing something, don't take too long. Just do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Just do it.
Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Babadeco, also on Twitter, and on Facebook Baba Decorations, and also on TikTok Babadeco. We promote manzi. Art yangu inaweza tumika kudecorate meza, mtaani inaweza tumika kwa ofisi na pia kwa events ka wedding na birthdays. Yeah, unaweza gift pia msi.
Alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed the show. We're going to have a brief slideshow of his various art pieces and his contact information down below. You can contact him to buy some art pieces. I have been your host, Gabrielle Mosa. See you until next time.